Every top movie last year was a franchise. Barbie is one of the biggest toy franchises. Super Mario Bros., one of the biggest game franchises. And Oppenheimer is part of the Flubber universe. Think about it. The first line of the plot. Professor Philip Brainard is a mad scientist who's developing a new energy. Sound familiar? Anyway, let's rewind back to 2001. Girls were practicing kissing on NSYNC posters, and boys were discovering what it means to be a man during Britney's I'm a Slave for You music video. Now, something else happened in 2001, but I can't really remember. Let's talk movies. Now, let's look at the box office list for 2001. Do you know what the biggest movie of 2001 was? It was actually Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. But okay. Do you know what the second biggest movie of 2001 was? The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring? Huh. Fine. All good starts to a film franchise, but do you know what movie that came out in 2001 that was the best start to a film franchise? The Fast and the Furious? Dang. 2001 was stacked for movies. Look at this list. Can we all just take a second to appreciate this list? Anyway, it's Shrek. We're doing What's the Deal with Shrek?
What's the deal?
When Shrek hit the scenes in 2001, companies went overboard. Every marketing exec in America wanted a slice of that green piece of ass. That green. Every marketing exec wanted to Shrek. And Shrek was everywhere. It was uncanny. It was sometimes out of place. It was like, I don't know, seeing Victoria Justice holding a rifle on a speedrun video. It was the summer of Shrek. Yo, so check this. This was the teaser trailer that introduced Shrek to the world. When he pulled that book out, the hype was off the charts.
Don't look down.
Look down. Don't look down. Shrek, I'm looking down.
That joke made us go crazy growing up. Honestly, the music of this movie was actually pretty crazy. If you look back, not just All Star, the music surrounding this was a great encapsulation of the early 2000s. Her face is kind of uncanny. That definitely is peak uncanny valley of hotness. This was an all-star cast for the early 2000s. These people are not relevant at all right now, but at the time, they were very relevant. And it seemed like there was a lot of passion put behind it. I mean, I think a lot of people look back and think it was a good movie. Now, around the time that this movie came out, Shrek took over the grocery store. We had Shrek cereal, Shrek cheese nips, Shrek cheese its, Shrek fruit snacks, and Shrek macaroni and cheese, which had double the calcium. That means it's healthy. Now, one of the most egregious of all the Shrek snacks was... Y'all ready for this? Shrek Twinkies. With ogre green creamy filling. Look at that face. Let's get a close-up of that face. That man looks thirsty. I'll just say that. That man looks depleted of fluids. That's all I'm going to say about it. Oh, Twinkies coupon inside. Now let's take a commercial break. This was a Burger King Shrek commercial.
Lewis, how many times have I told you? Project. Like this.
The big kid's meal. Big, tasty, hard to keep to yourself.
I actually remember this commercial.
Guess who's been to Burger King?
This was back when burping was funny, when burping could be a punchline. Now remember this, 9 candy caddies, because actually there's something interesting that happened right now. A lot of people don't know this, but Burger King actually had 10 Shrek toys. They advertised as just 9, that was because number 8, Pinocchio, got recalled. And yo, shout out to Fast Food Toy Reviews for getting this footage. Pinocchio, it seems like what would happen is that it would break and then the metal inside it would break out of it and then you could hurt yourself or something like that. Now if you're wondering, how much would it cost me to get a set of these? The whole set could be yours for one price of $179.99. That one extra penny counts. I don't know if my wife would have let me bought that if it was $180, but $179? She might be sold. I'm telling you, it's a collector's item. The value is only gonna go up. Even Baskin-Robbins wanted in on that Shrek hype. They had the Shrek Hot Sludge Sundae, which is Oreo ice cream with hot fudge, whipped cream, Oreo crumbs on top, and gummy worms. I actually remember this one too. Something about the donkey changing color. The Shrek Swamp Fizz. Another, I don't know what it is. Blue carbonated beverage with ice cream on top. But I mean, look at that color. Does that color exist in nature? I don't think so. We have another product. The Heinz Easy Squirt. Which once again, I got nothing to say about the name Easy Squirt. And they made it green, I guess, because Shrek was all about green. Shrek and Nickelodeon, green was the color of the early 2000s. I actually don't have much to say about this one. Just Walmart did a commercial with them. But I actually remember this one. And I remember being kind of like jealous that, yeah, like these shots felt very cinematic. I remember like wanting to be that size driving a Jeep around Walmart. I think actually Michael Bay directed this one. When the DVD came out, there was also a Shrek commercial for Walmart DVD. You can tell the animation quality here is completely different. And actually, if you listen closely,
there's not going to be any singing. You cut me deep, Shrek.
Those voices do not sound original. They probably could not afford to get the actors back in to do these voices, and they just hired some sound-alike. Honestly, if I saw these two walk into a Walmart, I wouldn't think twice. That is Walmart clientele right there. Now let's talk games. There was also the Shrek game on Xbox just titled Shrek. It was, I don't know, a basic platformer game. Back in the day, every movie had a platformer game. What was weird about this, though, is that, like, there was a lot of gas referencing, like burping. I don't know what it was about Shrek, but Shrek made burping cool again. Kids were trying to burp like Shrek. Actually, I do kind of remember that. That's not a joke. I remember kids trying to burp like Shrek. The Shrek game was also ported to GameCube, and they gave it this name, Shrek Extra Large. That extra large font just looks like added in after the fact. That looks like I photoshopped extra large in there. I did not. I would not make a joke like that. And once again, look at this dude's face. He looks thirsty again. Why does this man look so thirsty? This guy needs his electrolytes. I'm telling you. Now, I found some gameplay footage of this game. It's just like a speedrun video, but... Huh. What does that have to do with Shrek? Hold on, let me look this up real quick. Alright, now it's been weird. Okay, now it got weird. Yeah, now it is weird. It's very weird. Let's move on. Shout out Silo Simon for the speedrun footage, and also shout out Silo Simon for a little bit of personal growth. I apologize for any complaining I did during this video. I have changed a lot as a person. We love to see it. You know, despite the fact that this movie was everywhere, I think it had a lot of heart. I mean, this movie, I think, was a good movie. There's still a lot of people who rave about this movie till now, as far as it being like a good kids movie.
I love this movie. I love Shrek. I love it.
Why do you love it?
Well, I love it because of the message that it sends, you know, and I think that it's a message that everyone should hear, you know, it's about acceptance and not to judge people for what they look like.
The way some of the actors and actresses talk about this movie, they kind of gush about it. Now, we've seen a lot of terrible Shrek faces over the last couple of minutes, but I want to present to you one of the rarest and most terrifying Shrek faces that I've ever seen. Look at that. It's even worse than I remember. I hope the people who made that lost their jobs. And that's what's the deal with Shrek. Yo, let me know down in the comments if you remember any of these products. And yo, before you get down there, there's a subscribe button on your way. Why don't you go ahead and hit that for me if you haven't already.